In a twist of fate orchestrated by divine intervention, a young woman's seemingly small act of kindness ripples through the life of a man in need of God's love.
And he goes, I say that all the time. Jesus breaks chains. I say that all the time. And I really needed to hear that today.
The kind act rang true, proving that even the smallest gestures can have an immense impact.
He was considering committing suicide that day. If God wouldn't have showed him his love that day.
Watch this short testimony of an encounter of the God kind.
Jesus breaks chains. I don't know why. I just knew I wanted to write that on a sign. And so I drive to a grocery store where I can buy another cardboard thing. And I used markers that was already in my car. And then I just went to the parking lot and I wrote that on a sign. And I go, okay, so where should I stand? Okay, so I scope out the place. And I find the place and I'm like, okay, great. So I'm going to drive over there. And as I'm driving there, there's somebody that's driving in that same exact spot. And I'm like, oh no, that spot's already being taken. So I'm going to go drive in my own flesh. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go drive somewhere else because that spot's being taken. And immediately no, I want you to go there. So I'm like, oh no, really? Is this from you? Because I think you're telling me that you still want me to go to that spot. And so I just knew, in faith, I knew that the Lord wanted me to still go to that spot. So I was really nervous because I didn't know the man. And so I drive to that spot anyway. And so I get out of my car and for some reason, backtrack a little bit. For some reason, when I was in the grocery store picking out a sign, I also bought a pot of flowers to just have a pot of flowers stand next to me. I don't know why. Just wanted a pot of flowers to sit next to me as I'm standing with the sign. So I get out of my car with this pot of flowers and with the sign that says that. And so I'm walking to the same spot as this guy is walking. And the guy looks at me, he reads the sign and he goes, oh, you got to be kidding. Really? Because I can't believe your sign says that. That is just, wow. Wow, God, is what he kept saying. And I'm like, yeah, hi, my name's Amy. And, I'm introducing myself. And he goes, I say that all the time. Jesus breaks chains. I say that all the time. And I really needed to hear that today. And he had explained to me that he's going through such a rough time that he was considering committing suicide that day. If God wouldn't have showed him his love that day, because he got to explain to me that he can't work. He's been out of a job and he's homeless and he can't work because he has some disease where he can't move his hands and he's really hurting for money and he's living in his van at the time. And so I was just talking to him and I was hearing his story, and he thought I was an angel because it was the right moment for him to read that. And I told him, no, I'm not an angel. I'm an actual person. And, God just ministered to me and had me do this. And I hearkened to the Lord and I'm here. And then, so long story short, I ended up I went to an ATM. I gave him $20 and I said, please keep this pot of flowers as well. So you can remember that the Lord loves you. And I'll tell you, it really made that man's day. And I'm just so glad that I listened to the Lord and I went, even though I was very nervous, and it just blessed him.
Matthew 25 verses 35 to 45. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick, or in prison, and come to you? And the king will answer and say to them, Assuredly, I say to you, Inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. Then he will also say to those on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Assuredly, I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me.